I know this is a little unrelated to the current video, but before I went to the North Florida Kart Club Race 4, I did go to the wonderful place that is Phoenix, Arizona, and I quite enjoyed my time there. Forgive how my voice sounds. I'm still recovering from a cold that I got earlier in this week. But I had an amazing time in Phoenix. I went to an amazing dinner place. I saw all the amazing rock structures that are around. And I even saw a bunch of supercars, and I even got to see the Minecraft movie on opening day. Alright guys, we're walking in to see a Minecraft movie in what surely is going to be the peakest movie of all time.
Late axe. Collect customized.
10 out of 10. You know what? 11 out of 10 movie. I would highly recommend going to see it. But yeah, I mean, the rest of the time in Phoenix was really, really good. I even saw Walter White and Jesse Pinkman in the desert, in their natural habitat. But after Phoenix was the North Florida Kart Club local race 4, which I promptly headed down to. Alright, so we're back at it again. This is my hotel room. Hold on, let me see if I can flip the camera so that it's facing me. Yeah, we're back at it again. It's the 4th race of the year. I've woken up and taken a shower this time. But yeah, so right now we're sitting in 4th place in the points. We still haven't completely fixed the chain issue from last time, so we're gonna try and finally get that fixed. And then, yeah, hopefully we're gonna be fast. Right now, we're gonna go get breakfast downstairs, so yeah, that's about it for right now. Alright, so we just made it to the track about an hour ago, I'd say. Then we've been doing some adjustments with the gears. We took a track walk earlier. We saw a cat on the track walk. But now we're gonna go out for a few practice runs. We still have not got the chain getting tighter and looser in some areas. We've still not fixed that issue. So hopefully we'll find a fix, or that issue doesn't really affect us at all, but we'll see what happens, I guess. Do it again. Alright, so we just did a run of practice, but before we actually discovered that there was also a bent axle issue. So we're gonna try and fix the axle, but yeah, not really much else that can be done at this point in time besides just hope we get the axle fixed. We're gonna use a mallet to help get it back into place, so hopefully that should fix it. I was running decently fast in practice though, in the little practice session that I did. So hopefully we'll be fast in the group practice quali and the races. Alright, so my engine is fired up here. I'm fired up, honestly. I'm coming into this weekend very, very excited. Especially coming off of being so close last weekend to getting a podium. And then here we are rolling out for practice. So it is Riley and then Harley in the front. Only Harley this time. Whitney unfortunately broke her, I believe, pelvic bone after the third race of the year, which was unfortunate, so she had to sit this one out. But now we're here. I'm here going down the back straightaway, trying to get some heat into my tires. I'm still on a qualifying setup. Important to note is that I'm still running a qualifying setup. I didn't want to make any adjustments. I figured we'd adjust it as we go along. Kyle gets really loose through this section here. And yeah, Riley at the moment is leading the pack with Harley in second and then Ryder in third as we come across the line. I'm going to speed things up because not much happens. But then here, going down the back straightaway, Ryder pushes Harley out, and both of them get ahead of Riley. I don't really get close to that battle up until here. This section is where I'm the best at this configuration. Like, you see just how much I can catch up to somebody. Kyle gets loose again. But you see just how much I get close to somebody through this section of corners. And yeah, through another speed up again because at this point I'm just riding around. I'm just not really doing much, just trying to learn the track and some last minute practice for myself. And then up here, Ryder gets pushed ahead by Riley, and then Harley gets hung out to dry on the outside. She slots back into third, and here we go, another speed up again, just riding around. And then not much else happens for the rest of practice, which is why most of it is sped up, because there's just not a lot of stuff happening. And then here we go. Right here, we're heading through. This is the last lap. There's Kyle putting his hand up to indicate that he's going to come into the pits. I'm putting my hand up as well throughout this whole section of corners. We're slowing down quite a lot. There's the yellow flag. He's directing us to go in. And then we do go into the pit lane and head to the scale house to get our cart weighed. And that is about it for practice. Okay, so practice is over. We ended up P5. Was it? Which was expected. I mean, we weren't really expecting to be that fast in practice, especially considering the fact that we had a qualifying setup, which we've kept on for now. But now it's on to qualifying, so hopefully we'll be able to be up there. Alright, so here we are for qualifying, and honestly what I think is a very important qualifying. There goes Ryder out. And I try not to stray too far over the line before I get instructed to go out for my warm-up lap. So, warm-up lap is about as standard as you can possibly get. You just try to weave and get heat into the tires, but then here, I get loose, which is not a problem that I've been dealing with in practice. When I'm pushed forward, just think it's like a little mishap there, and I continue weaving the tires. But what I didn't realize at the time was that there was something wrong with the left rear tire. And I notice how through this corner I get a little loose and I'm having to fight the wheel a bit more than what I would usually have to do. And it's especially noticeable through this little bowl here. You don't typically get loose like that in this corner. So now I'm coming here for my first timed lap. I take the green flag right about here, throw it into the first corner, then get very loose, but then power on the exit, then head down to the chicane, get a loose there entering the curved corner, and then before exiting the chicane. Now at this point I think that I have a puncture, but if I can get one good lap in, then maybe I can save the tire. But then here, coming through the corner, I got really loose, and the tire came off. And I get mad. Really mad. and then do my best impression of Charles Leclerc. Yeah, so the left rear wheel was not properly attached, as I learned, and I was so frustrated about it that I did not bother to do a conclusive qualifying summary. I ended up qualifying 6th out of 8, though, because 2 people had gotten disqualified, so there was that. And yeah, we ended up having to get a new left rear wheel hub that we would be using for the heat race. And there wasn't much else that happened in between, besides the fact that I was just kind of depressed. I mean, you can probably see that in Harley's vlog. But yeah, now on to the heat race, with now a bit of a recovery job to do. Alright, so here I am, ready for the heat race, with, as I mentioned earlier, a recovery job to do. I'll be starting in 6th place in this race, which is not the best place to start, especially if you want to gather up a lot of points to make an impression on the championship. So really, my goal this race is to just make up as many positions as possible, and what I didn't realize is that this would be the funnest race I basically ever had. Funnest heat race, that is. And you'll see why very shortly. So we get the engine fired, we're waiting to head out, and then we finally do. Ryder is starting on pole, as usual. Harley is starting 2nd. I believe Riley, my teammate, is starting in 3rd. And then William starting in 4th. I think I'm going to speed things up here a little bit. And then Kyle is starting 5th on the inside of me. So I'm doing as much as I can here to warm up the tires. Then right here we all close up to each other to get ready for the start. And then here we get the green flag. And I get a pretty decent jump. I lay off a little bit because this corner has been known to cause chaos, and I had to use a little bit of the runoff there. I believe I managed to get ahead of Kyle, so I jump up into 5th position, heading down the back straightaway, and I knew that I had to dispatch of William really, really quickly if I wanted to have any chance of getting up with the leaders, as now I see that Harley had actually taken the lead, which is really good for me, as Ryder has to sort of stay stuck behind her and can't really break out into a lead like he normally does. So I see William going wide there. I know that I'm going to have an opportunity to pass soon. I push him a little bit coming down the straightaway before passing the checker flag to start lap 2 and lifting off a little bit. You see there's a bit of a battle. Ryder actually gets shuffled out all the way to 3rd place after starting in 1st, which again is really good. He can't break away in the lead, and then I get a good run on William this lap, and I decide to move to the inside to pass him in the corner. And then I'm about 3-4 kart lengths back, and then before heading into my best section of the racetrack and gaining quite a bit on them through these next few corners. And then I don't really get the exit that I need, as they're all in a draft, so I can't get as good of an exit as they can. And also I'd been lacking a little bit on corner exit in that area, but now I am right there in this battle, and I need to stay with them as much as I can. So I get a pretty good exit through the chicane there and duck my head down, though they are all much, much closer together. I follow Ryder's draft as Ryder pushes my teammate up into 1st place. Riley's now in the lead, Harley in 2nd, and yeah, all this battling is exactly what I want to see, because this allows me to close up and even hit Ryder a little bit there as he checked up going through the hairpin. And that, again, I don't get a great exit coming onto the straightaway, but now my teammate's in the lead. I'm like obligated to push him, as you'll see like later in the race, so I'll do whatever I can, but also I want to get up there and get a good finish for myself and get a good starting position for the feature race, which is when all the points matter. So Ryder has a look on Harley on the inside as Harley gets a little bit loose coming through the bowl, but he doesn't do anything with it, has to stay in line, and this allows me to close right up to them again. Harley goes a bit wide. She often goes wide in that corner, which will be important later, especially for the feature race. Then Harley makes a move, jumping around the outside, or at least trying to go around the outside of Riley. It does not work. She has to settle back into second place, and I am right behind Ryder because of that, and I have to follow whichever draft. Ryder's telling me to push me, but Ryder's telling me to push him, but I didn't get that great of a result, or get that great of an exit, and I do push him a little bit once I catch him heading into this corner, but I don't want to slam him into the corner and put him in a position where he's gonna wreck, because that would be a penalty for me, and that would be endangering somebody else, especially in the fastest corner on the racetrack. So now I'm right there. I follow them off, get a much better exit than I do, but Ryder still has amazing exit speed on that corner, and that's where we're sort of lacking. And I come into this corner, and we're all just right there. I know I have to get a good exit, so I swoop in a little bit wide and get a decent exit, not as great of an exit, so I just try to follow my draft. I follow the draft of the 904 for a little bit, Ryder, but before going to help my teammate, as he unfortunately gets passed for first place and goes all the way back to third. Harley's now in the lead of this race, and then Ryder's like now in second, and I'm right behind my teammate, so this is a really good position for me to be in, especially if we want both of us to get a good result. And then we're coming now to, I believe, 2 laps to go, and we're all right there in that battle, and Ryder wants to get past, and I want to push Riley past both of them if we get a good enough run, but I'm not there, really, coming out of the corner. And then Ryder tries a move on the outside, has a little bit of help, gets really loose, almost wrecks coming through the bowl, and settles back into second place. So we're all very, very restless. I look a little bit to the inside to try and get a better exit, but it does not work, and I'm not really there for to give a push to Riley. And then Ryder makes a great overtake around the outside of turns 1 and 2 and takes the lead of the race. So now it is a battle for second place, as you can see just how much Ryder is starting to break away even by himself. This is a track where setup matters quite a lot. Like you saw, like exit speed and stuff like that. Like setup matters a lot because it is a drafting style racetrack, so he's able to break away a lot more. And coming through this corner, we're all really, really close. Harley gets really, really loose, which allows all of us to sort of, I guess, gang up on her. She goes really wide, and then Riley ducks low. I push him all the way to the line. He manages to get second. Harley finishes third. I finish fourth, and Kyle had actually caught up to all of us while we were battling, so he was right there pushing me. And this is the cool-down lap before we head into the pits to conclude the heat race. And I thought I had a very good race, as you'll see here.
That was damn near one of the best racing experiences I've ever had.
Okay, so I had a hell of a comeback after the qualifying mishap. So I came back, as you saw, all the way to third, and now I'm going to stick with the same setup, same everything, because that, quite frankly, that last setup was genuinely perfect. So hopefully we can fight for more in the feature, but if not, then P3, let's just hope we don't lose position. That's key.
Alright, so here I am for the feature race, and I'm actually starting third because my teammate Riley got disqualified for something that happened with his muffler. So here we are, we're getting the engines fired up after a bit of an extended wait under the shed, and then we're all just anxious to go, and then here we finally go out. So Ryder is starting on pole again, and Harley is starting second, I'm starting third, Kyle is starting fourth because of his amazing comeback run after the feature race. So on this first lap, we're all just trying to warm up the tires as much as we can, get them as warm as possible. Then actually right here, somebody in the back spun out while trying to grid with us. So we go around all the way, and then we get the signal to go one more time around. So here we are for the second attempt, and I'm trying to stay in the tram lines as we take the green flag. Harley stays in the tram lines this time around. Thankfully for her, no disqualification. Then heading into the first corner, I try to sake move, and then I ended up blocking the brakes and just losing a couple positions here, and I was a little frustrated, but now I was in recovery mode because, like, I learned right then in that moment that you can't make fake moves. You can't fake moves like that and expect them to work. You can't make half moves. So now I'm in recovery mode. I've fallen back to fifth place behind Mason, who started in 6th. And I know, just like with William in the heat race, that I need to get past him as fast as possible. I try to get past him on the front straightaway, but there's no room to do so as we complete the first lap. The second lap, I look to the inside, but don't have the momentum to make the overtake. So I just tuck back in because I just hit dead air. And then I have to wait one more lap sitting behind him. And then this next lap, I finally do, coming out of the chicane, make the overtake. And then now, I know that I have to be in full speed mode trying to catch Kyle, so I'll let that play out as Drive to Survive would. And here I had finally caught Kyle, which was only in 3 laps. He'd gone from a slight distance in the way ahead of me to being within reach, and then now we're both faster together than Harley up front. Ryder had already gotten away with the lead, so now we realized that we needed to push, and then it was going to be a 3-way battle for second place. So we push, and then we catch all the way up to Harley. And the reason I'm speeding this up is because nothing really interesting goes on until here. We catch up to Harley, and then we're going to speed it up again because not a lot of interesting stuff happens for these next few laps. We're kind of just coasting around, trying to wait to the end of the race to make a move. And then here we are, taking the 2 to go. I'm sitting in 4th position right now, and I am in very, very good position to get my first podium of the season. And I didn't get a very good exit coming off of the corner. I tried to take the draft of whoever had the most momentum, which was Kyle, but Harley scooted up in front of me. I tried to go around the outside, but there wasn't really enough space to make an overtake and not enough grip on the outside. So now I'm sitting behind Harley, still in 4th, coming to 1 to go. Kyle had gotten up into 2nd place. And then, like, I'm driving here, we're coming to the white flag, and at this point, I am ready to do anything it takes to get a podium short of wrecking Harley or Kyle, because that's one thing that I just won't do whatsoever. So I know I need a great exit off of the corner, and I do sort of get it. I mean, it's a better exit than most corners, so I try to take the draft of Harley. Then here, coming down the back straightaway, I actually tried to pass Harley. Didn't work. She gets really loose off of the corner entry, and I'm trying to set up a dive bomb into the hairpin here, like a last-ditch effort. Then Harley sends one in for 2nd place, which opens the door for me. I get side by side with Kyle. We bang wheels, coming to the line. It's a drag race all the way to the white flag, and I end up getting it by just that much. Harley puts her fist up in the air. I do the same as well. And at this point, I'm just really happy, because not only is this my first podium of the year, but it's my first podium since I had my seizure and got back to racing, which was incredibly difficult on me. that time period where I wasn't able to race. And this moment right here reminded me of why I wanted to be a racing driver. This sort of success and this feeling of accomplishment that I got. And then here we are coming to the scale house, coming down the road. And then I see my dad giving me the thumbs up over there. I give him the thumbs up back. And I honestly thought it was an amazing race. It was amazing being finally back there, and I was just ecstatic going through the scale house behind Harley because, like I mentioned, first podium after coming back from having a seizure and thinking I would never be good enough again, really.
How did you do? I lost all my feet, and then
First podium in over a year.
I hit inside my feet. No, you're making it could blow my feet that I'm running along. If I didn't do that.
Yeah, out of all the podium finishes I've gotten, this one definitely means a lot, and you can see it in my eyes there, just that elation.
Okay, I know the lighting is kind of bad, but P3! Let's go! First podium in over a year, and especially first podium after my seizure. It's amazing to be on a comeback run like this. And yeah, I'm so thankful. We went from losing a tire and spinning in qualifying, starting near the back, to third place and drag racing for it. I'm so grateful, genuinely. This has been an amazing weekend. It's been an amazing weekend, and I'm so glad that after the mistake last race, it could end out like this.